Hello everyone, it is Jess here from the Scrappy Sisters, and thank you for joining me for a Kitaholic Kits design team layout. I have to say straight off the bat that I need to say thank you to Danny Visser for sharing the idea of adding some French knots and some other bits and bobs to this piece of paper to just give it a little bit more spark, because honestly, it is an adorable piece of paper and it is so easy to work with. But yeah, just a little bit of pop, a little bit of texture, and it is rocking. So what I chose to do is I did do some French knots. I also just did some sort of random stitching, like to add a bit of thickness and a bit of texture to the page. And I also just got some beads and sewed those on as well. Just to add a bit more like galaxy type feel to the page. I've never put real life beads on my page before, and I think it is really cool. Really added, as I said, that texture, that bit of dimension to the page, and really helped to make this particular background paper just pop. And I'm really happy with the way that came together. So this is the No Limits Cocoa Vanilla Studios, and everything on the page is that except for this little foam piece. I just had my heart set on including that onto the page. I don't know why. It was one of my boys' toys, and I found it randomly in my craft room, and it just was the perfect color pattern and color scheme. I just wanted to put it on the page, so I have. It is definitely a little bit bulky and a little bit big, but I think it works. So I've added that on from my stash as well. But otherwise, everything else is from the kit this month, the No Limits Cocoa Vanilla Studios. So yeah, I definitely recommend taking that piece of 12 by 12 pattern paper and just giving it your own personal flair, your own personal little tweak, that just to help make that page just pop that little bit more. So it's not just a flat two-dimensional piece of paper anymore. There's just something else to help grab your eye, grab your attention, and I think it looks really, really cute. And I'm really happy with it. So I definitely recommend. And of course, I didn't stitch all the way around or add beads to absolutely everywhere. That would be a bit too much and a bit overpowering. Just a few little sections here and there. And also, it does take a little bit of time to do French knots and to sew on beads and things like that. So why I didn't want to do that in places where I was going to cover it with my photos, because I do have 3 large photos as well as those 3 large clusters as well. So I just did a few little spots to help make the layout pop, but also was conscious of putting them in places that I wasn't going to cover with my photographs. So I did go ahead and plan this layout first and then decide where to put those extra bits and pieces second, if that makes sense. Just so I knew I wasn't putting them in a place where they'd be wasted. I did decide I wanted one more little cluster down in this corner for no real reason other than to kind of complete that circle, because otherwise there was not a third cluster, there was not that third visual triangle, and I liked the idea of that. And then with my title, I did use the stickers that came in the kit, but I didn't want to just stick them flat onto the 12 by 12. So I actually stuck them onto a piece of paper, fussy cut those out, and then stuck the whole piece onto foam and popped that up on foam. So this rocketing to 6 is still popped up on foam, kind of like your thickers would be, and it just gives a little bit more dimension and a little bit more pop to those everyday stickers, because I do find stickers a little bit challenging to use as they do just stick flat onto the page. Now to finish off this layout, I am going to pop on a whole bunch of stars in all different spots around the page just to add to those clusters, and I'm putting them all up on foam. So really happy with how they are looking. So that is basically the whole gist of my entire layout. I'm really thrilled with this one, you guys. I think it is a really fun layout for Jack's birthday and showing what a fabulous day it is. I did play around with my title quite a bit. I really wanted to try and tie in superheroes and space, but I just couldn't figure that out. Something about you know, because they're not the Guardians of the Galaxy. They're just, you know, Batman and Spider-Man and Hulk and stuff. So I just couldn't figure it out. So in the end, I went with Rocketing to 6, which I do love. But yeah, I wish I could have figured out a Heroes or a Super or a something in there too. But anyway, doesn't matter. I hope you are enjoying working with your kit this month if you are a Kitaholic Kits subscriber, or hopefully this layout just inspires you to create something with a collection you have at home, and maybe it inspires you to get a 12 by 12 piece of paper and add a little bit more oomph to it by using your stitching, putting on some beads, or even some rhinestones or something like that, just to help make that 12 by 12 page a little bit more exciting. So thank you again to Danny for inspiring me to do something to make that paper look that little bit more special. I hope you have enjoyed watching this process video, and I cannot wait to share one more Kitaholic Kits layout with you later in the month. Bye everyone.